I'm going to find a copy of the cover now and send it and put it up so you can see it. There it is. Hundreds of reasons to vote PNP. And this book is very extensive. I'm going to open it because today, what they have done, what we did in this book, and this book, I believe, was published in either 2014 or 2015. So it's at least 10 years old. It's at least 10 years old. From when the great Portia Simpson Miller was the Prime Minister. And I think Raymond Price was very instrumental in this publication, if I'm not mistaken. It is basically 60 pages. Hundreds of reasons to vote for PNP. Right? So, and I'm going to do this in a series because I want, similar to how I did the affidavit series, I'm not even going to finish the affidavit series before I start this one because I think this is vitally important. So I'm going to do 3 episodes. I'm going to do 3 more parts of the affidavit tonight, but I'm also going to cover what we're talking about so that the video is there for you to share it, comrades. You see, when I make my video, the onus is on you to take the link and share. If you don't want to fill up your phone space with the video itself, copy the link and share it, comrades. Everybody have TikTok now. Copy the link and share it so that we get them to know. So don't just watch the video and scroll past. Engage the video. If you don't know how the TikTok algorithm work, yes, if I've been on the American TikTok for a while, so I hear press all my buttons. Whenever you hear the press all my buttons video, press all my buttons. So yes, you press the buttons, engage the video, leave a comment. That's how you get it to spread. So we're going to talk about Norman Manley today. The Right Excellent Norman Washington Manley, party president from 1938 to 1969. Chief Minister from 1955 to 1959 and Premier of Jamaica from 1959 to 1962. Norman Manley was never a Prime Minister. Why? Because we gained independence immediately after he lost that election. At the birth, and I want you to take in this information. As I said, I will make a video of this afterwards. I am doing this booklet, right? This is the booklet I'm doing, our booklet, because our information, so them, the nasty labor, right, them walk around and claim, say, PNP never do nothing yet. So we're doing it leader by leader, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You see, when I finish this book, we're 10 years old, I'm going to read for them book. And every time I see something in their book that is in my book, I am going to do a video about it. That's why I want to read their book, comrades. Because every time I see something in my book, we published from 2015, I'm going to look in a for them book, where them hurry up and publish the other day, them couldn't even spell Jamaica properly. May I go come here, come talk about it. Because we are going to show them up. On the top of the live, comrades. Get me up to 200K, please. I appreciate everything that you're doing for me. All right? So at the birth of the People's National Party in 1938, the founding president, Norman Washington Manley, declared the People's National Party is called the People's Party because it will unswervingly aim at all those measures which serve the masses of the country. It is called national because it is pledged to the development of the national spirit. Under the leadership of all 4 party presidents, the PNP has carried out policies and programs consistent with this commitment. Norman Manley and the PNP were architects of the 1944 Constitution that brought universal adult suffrage to Jamaica, giving every adult the right to vote. Do you know that the JLP tried to claim this? The JLP tried to credit functionally illiterate Bustamante. I did a video on it a few days ago. The JLP tried to credit functionally illiterate Bustamante with universal adult suffrage. Thank you, Hugh Blair. Thank you. Wait, what go on, Dr. Cole? Simply because he was the Prime Minister. When this document will take PNP how long for craft was put into, basically was put into law. They tried to take credit for universal adult suffrage. I don't even think Bustamante can spell adult, much less suffrage. I don't think him even know how to spell half a universal.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
All right, Apples, thank you, my love. So how could he write the Constitution, comrades, when Bustamante couldn't even spell bread? Bustamante spelled bread B-R-E-D, and when he was informed that he left out the A, he said B-R-E-D-A.
What?
So how was Bustamante to be responsible for the Constitution, which included universal adult suffrage, when he could not read and write? In 1974, Michael Manley was the Prime Minister of Jamaica, so there is no labor right. We could create NHT in 1974. That me know. In 1949, the PNP launched the Plan for Progress, which became the blueprint for Jamaica's economic development, making us one of the leading developing nations in the world. Norman Manley and the PNP in 1953 introduced the ministerial system of government in Jamaica, which led the way for the constitutional advancement. It was the advocacy of the PNP in 1959 which led to Jamaica achieving internal self-government. You see, the PNP always does the groundwork. We put in the hard work, and then the JLP benefit from it right through. So we fought for universal adult suffrage and our own constitution between 1938 to 1944, and JLP was elected at that time to reap the benefits. You call them scavengers, comrades. You call them scavengers. And in 1959, when we were fighting for our independence, the scavengers came in 1962 and benefited from it. You call them scavengers. We're reading from our book. See the cover there? Where we published from 2015. Norman Manley and the PNP demanded and negotiated Jamaica's independence. For 7.5 years, between 1955 and 1962, Norman Manley and the PNP shepherded an unprecedented expansion of the Jamaican economy. The annual average growth rate during the administration was some 6%. Them fight against independence, and they didn't want to leave the British, and then they claim it. When they realize it was a resounding success, award, they claim it. Everything them fight against, them claim, just like how them fight against Portmore and now have the audacity to be claiming said JLP made Portmore, and them they fight against it. The annual average growth rate during that administration was some 6%. And in the fiscal year 1956 to 57, the economy grew by 14.1%. Thank you very much, Steplight. Bustamante was dead set against independence, establishing a record that is not matched or surpassed by any administration since then. You see this information, comrades? As I said, I am going to make a video with this information. When we make the video, we make sure say, we get it into every corner and crevice, every constituency, every division, every PNP group needs this information. Norman Manley and the PNP were architects of the 1944 Constitution that brought universal adult suffrage, giving every adult in Jamaica the right to vote. Never forget that. In 1955, the establishment of the Central Planning Unit, now the Planning Institute of Jamaica, marked the beginning of planned economic and social development in Jamaica. In 1957, the PNP administration introduced Jamaica's first 10-year development plan. The Beach Control Law of 1955 gave all Jamaicans the right to access our beaches. Who took that right away, comrades? Who took it away? Because we don't have no access now. We don't have no access now. The Norman Manley administration introduced the Watershed Protection Act to preserve the environment and protect our water resources. Right now, Andrew Ones and the JLP is protecting the big men who are polluting our waterways. They pardon we sink is what them name. Through trade winds for polluting the Rio Cobre, which provide our drinking water. Killing off the food for the people in Kent Village. Our indigenous people who still live off the land. Poison their farm animals because they poison our drinking water, our water source. The JLP is now pressuring the Maroons in the cockpit country to free up the land so that they can sell it off to the bauxite companies and pollute our cockpit country, pollute the heart of the country where all the water springs from. Every country has a heartbeat. Every country is a living being, and the heart of our country is the cockpit country. And the labor rights are trying to poison it. In a perennial fight with the Maroons, drilling all over the damn place for oil. Like they don't know that we share the same fault line as Haiti.
No, ladies and gentlemen, what she's talking about right here, so is very, very important. And remember to like and share the video, guys. Right Mango is on point. You know, you guys need to remember what happened with the Maroons and the police and all of that craziness that was going on. That was like an eye-opener for me. Talking about Jamaica is only one sovereign state, not recognizing the treaty of. You see, this is a larger conversation, and I tell you guys, and Jonas is a part of the Privy Council, and I'm very suspicious about that choice that he made, because we are trying to be free of the Privy Council of England totally and be actually independent and do things the way how we see fit for our country and actually own our country. No crown lands, no full. You know, the PNP plan for the Jamaican people, I'm telling you, it resonates with the freedom of all Jamaicans. And Andrew Ones' plan and this party, this government, all I see is bondage and slavery. We're getting put back into these needs and all of these things. Man, listen, y'all better pay attention, man. Stop playing and stop acting a fool. You hear me? All right, open up your eyes. Let's continue. Remember to like the video. Thank you very much.
The same fault where run through Haiti, run through Jamaica too. The planting garden fault line. Do you know what causes earthquakes? Fracking for oil. When you displace the rocks in the earth, when you're trying to remove oil and the something drop, boom, the earth shake. Fracking. They also use earthquakes to create gold. You know that? I'm not going to research it. The last time I did a video on this TikTok, remove it, so I won't talk much about it, because apparently it's a secret that we're not supposed to expose. But just go and look at the correlation between gold mining and earthquaking. And think about all the people here in Jamaica looking for gold. and how many earthquakes we had last year. And when you find the correlation, you let me know. Tap up the live. I want to see it over 400 people watching, and I want over 200k hearts. I accept all gifts, everything. Thank you very much. The Norman Manley, I read that already. The Scientific Research Council was established by Norman Manley. In 1956, industrial incentives law facilitated the growth of the manufacturing sector. We're still talking about Norman Manley. Norman Manley is also credited with the construction of the National Stadium and Independence Park. Same place where the JLP them pack, the JLP hooligan them pack up right now, planning to boo our next Prime Minister. Them never want it built. Them the Black Road. You know, so labor rights basically demonstrated against the construction of the National Stadium.
What can go so?
Were you aware of that? They demonstrated against that. Bustamante led a demonstration against the construction of the National Stadium. Worker all strike. Them try everything to derail it. A small business loan board was established to promote small business development. 33 different strikes to stop it. Thank you, Steplight. Big protest, big demonstration, bare strike. Them have to bring down man from Warwick Hill to help finish the construction of the stadium. Because Bustamante was dead set against it. Labor rights have never been against progress. Have never been for progress of our country. And then when the progress happens, they try to claim it. The Rasta man them from Warwick Hills. The stone worker them. Same Rasta man them where they tried to execute. The Bank of Jamaica Act was passed in 1960 and the bank began operation in 1961. The Export Industries Encouragement Law of 1956 provided additional incentives for exports. The Facilities for Titles Law, introduced in 1955, made it possible for thousands of small farmers to obtain land titles without going through traditional expensive and laborious application process. The Land Bonds Law in 1955 allowed the start of land reform in Jamaica by granting the government access to idle lands in exchange for bonds. During the Norman Manley administration, tourism experienced its first golden age with the establishment of the Jamaica Tourist Board, the one where Ed Bartlett loved to boast about, started by Norman Manley. The expansion of both major airports and the opening and development of Negril as a tourist resort town. A new agreement negotiated with the bauxite companies increased royalties they paid Jamaica by 400%, thereby boosting the country's revenue. The Norman Manley administration introduced the common entrance exam in 1957. This is a very important point, comrades, and I need you. Want to share up the live, share it up the live, share the live. Let's get this information out. Listen to this. The Norman Manley administration introduced the common entrance exam in 1957 because of their deep concern that a large number of children of poor parents who were unable to pay fees should be afforded the opportunity of a good grammar school education, with the fees being paid by the government. Initially, 2,000 students annually were given fully paid access to high schools, increasing enrollment from 11,600 in 1957 to 19,600 to 19,236 in 1962. Norman Manley is responsible for the secondary education of Jamaican children. It's a pity he couldn't help Bustamante, because if Bustamante was educated, he wouldn't start JLP and pack up all of the dunce people them over there.
Help. We key out of the ladder.
The 1957 educational reform also included the establishment of the College of Arts, Science and Technology, CAST. What is CAST now? Let me see if you're bright. What name CAST now? What is CAST? What is CAST? The labor right, them don't know CAST, you know. Want to tell me what is CAST? There you go. Well, Caroline, you must know. Caroline, come on. You shouldn't even. No, it's not case. It's UTech. It's UTech, not case. Caroline, you shouldn't talk, you know, because you must know the answer to that. UTEC was established by the PNP, by Norman Manley. Okay? It was up to when the name changed to UTEC was changed to UTEC by PJ Patterson in 1994, between 93 and 94. I was actually in high school at Campion when the name changed. But it was established by Norman Manley. UTEC, which is formerly CAS, College of Arts, Science and Technology. The Kingston Technical School and the practical training centers at Dintil and Homewood were converted to technical high schools to feed into CAST. So Norman Manley created the technical school network to feed CAST. So all the technical schools, Homewood Tech, Dintil Tech, Kingston Tech, Stats. Thank you, KDN, but I'm reading from the manual, this book. The PNP book, where the JLP tries to steal the achievements from. We have to read it so you know it. So when you see them claiming our achievements, you say no. Like how them, you know what pissed me off? The fact that the Labour right, them have it say JLP create Portmore. Nothing about me so. And it's because I remember being in high school when the Labour right, them a cuss about Portmore. And scorn Portmore. Can't forget. The Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, JBC, was established in 1959. And you know why this should hurt us, comrades? Because the JBC was subsumed into RJR. JBC TV became TVJ. And look how the drunkard them a treat we now. And if it wasn't for we, they would not have existed. Damn! Look how the drunkard them a treat we now. Establishment of government broadcasting services. Establishment of government broadcasting service, which created the Government Information Service, now the Jamaica Information Service, as well as a schools broadcasting service, which broadcast the curriculum via radio. Work on the National Stadium started in 1955 and was completed for the independence celebrations in August 1962. Same place now where the whole of them don't pack up, where them never want to make. Labour rights are against everything called progress. In 1959, when the PNP celebrated its 21st anniversary, Norman Manley could justifiably claim it is our party that built the national movement, that took Jamaica out of the colonial matrix, that redeemed the soul of our people from the dead hand of bondage, that liberated the energy and the will and the spirit that has swept us forward and onward and upward over the last 20 years. Under the Norman Manley-led PNP administration, Jamaica and India became the first two countries in the British Empire to cut trade links with the racist apartheid regime of South Africa. Because we stood for something. We stood for something. Look at Andrew with the easy them now. You know we can't call the name over here, right? Look at him now because he stands for nothing. In summary, and as I'm finishing this, we're going to bring up some people in the box, especially those who wanted to speak yesterday and didn't get the opportunity. Right? So let us, in summary now. In summary, the Norman Manley administration created institutions on which modern Jamaica has been built, and in the process made Jamaica a leader in the developing world. So this completes Norman Manley. Tomorrow, comrades, no, I'm off tomorrow. On Friday, we're going to be looking at Michael Joshua Manley himself. You know, say for him story much longer than Norman Manley own. So you know, so you come well prepared because we are going to go into it. We're going to get into it. All right?
Boy, people, you know, like and share up that video. That one is an exclusive. Right, Mango expose something in terms of the history of the PNP. I'm sure a lot of people don't even know because, you know, you have so much youth out there, you have so much people who really follow up the politics. And information is everything, so. But I encourage everybody to go over our page on TikTok and want to make sure you subscribe and them something and do my little part, you know, to share the information because I think it's very, very necessary. We're having a lot of misinformation out there, you know, and we have to speak truth to power so the people can be enlightened. So you see, I should outline the different prime ministers of the People's National Party and the things that they actually accomplish. Come on, man, you have to appreciate the content. So you know, I'm glad I was there to record this and share it. Yeah, my people, so just share up the video, man. Share up the video, like up the video. You understand? Donate if you can. Donate if your heart lead you to. You see me, I say the donation information right there. So PayPal and Cash App. It's a brother ball of you and I'm out.